Have you ever seen a broken porcelain cup? Would you ever want to use it? The broken one cannot be used, right? But I would tell you about a Japanese technique, an ancient Japanese technique, which talks about how to mend your flaws and yet flaunt it beautifully. It is called kintsugi. And this particular technique helps in joining the broken porcelain with the molten gold. And as the broken pieces of that particular porcelain piece, it may be a cup, it may be a vase, flower vase, or anything, as it gets joined, as the pieces get joined by the liquid gold, and as the thing sets up later on, you see a beautiful design in front of you, which makes the final thing, the final product, more beautiful than it was before, because it has the history of those flaws, and they are now being adorned in a beautiful golden way as your eyes see them. So now, then they become not just the flaws but the design. That is the uniqueness of that particular item, which can never be copied by any other item like this. Did you find it interesting? Well, I want you to take this as an example, and I'm sure you will find it interesting to note that how this particular concept you can apply in your own life. Today, we are going to talk about resilience, one of the most important life skill that one can ever have. Yes, every life skill is important, but when I talk about resilience, that is one thing that separates the ones who are very, very talented, who have all the kind of factors that one can think of to become successful. Yet at times things happen and they fail to succeed, while there are those who might not seem to be that talented, who might not seem to be that destined towards the success, still they achieve the success. Well, do you know about Shah Rukh Khan's earlier past, the kind of family he comes from? He does not come from a background wherein people were from his family. They were not from in any Bollywood or film background. They were all from the normal background. Yet he worked upon, he struggled a lot, he started from small, he worked through serials. Do you know who was his first heroine? It was Renuka Shahane. Yes, she was his first heroine in a serial called Circus. From there, as his journey started, he did many theaters also, many small work he worked his way up. And today, as we talk about him, the most current mega success that he has with his film Pathan is the glaring proof of what resilience can help you achieve, because there was a moment when he was written off. Or let's say, talking about sports, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the kind of family which he came from, it was not a family with lots of sports lineage. Still, he put his best. He was also the one who was not too much into cricket at first. At first, he was into football. But later on, slowly and slowly, as he realized and discovered his strengths through his mentors, he took the step forward. And with lots of struggles in his life, what he gained is something whole world is there to celebrate. So, What is one factor that separates the achievers from those who could not make it to that particular mark? That is resilience. As you check the kind of notes that I have shared with you, your manual, therein you would see the definition of resilience. As you read it, you would understand the meaning that it holds, because resilience is something that you develop. When we talk about life skills, as I shared with you earlier too, it is something which you might not be born with, but if you put effort into it, you surely can develop it. It is like that muscle. You go to the gym, you practice daily, there would be pain and there would be struggle, still you do not give up and you gain the muscles. Likewise, you can gain the resilience too. What is resilience? It is that particular grit, that particular hustle. When I talk about hustle, these days, I'm sure almost all of you, the youngsters, must be aware of this very, very hip word with entrepreneurship and with Shark Tank and series like these coming up. I'm very sure that you must be aware of what kind of struggles one has to go through to achieve the success in the life, be it their academics or be it the kind of business or be it any kind of career success that one achieves. It is through the resilience. So, not giving up, not giving up on your efforts, not giving up emotionally, not giving up giving your full percentage, even when the conditions are completely adverse, completely against you. Still, when you do not give up and you keep on going, that is what is resilience is. Bouncing back even after having a fallout. A situation might come wherein you take a step back, but with that one step back, later on you keep your inner flame high and take 2 to 3 to 4 steps ahead too. That is what resilience stands for. As you move forward with your notes that I've shared, you will see that there are various steps that you can follow through to have the resilience developed inside you. For that, as you start, I would suggest you first start with the goal in the mind, that what is your goal? Because without goal, nothing can be achieved. And having a set and clear goal is of paramount importance. You know that you have to study, but if you keep the goal just to study, it won't work. You put it as today I will study so and so chapter from so and so book for so and so time. You keep each and everything precise in your goal. And then, when you have that clear goal, it shall guide you to move forward in a clear way. As you move in the clear way, have the confidence within, because you are born with all the abilities. If you have the capacity to dream, believe that you have the capacity to fulfill those dreams. So have that confidence. With the inner confidence that you have, develop the inner you inside, and you are the best friend of yourself. Whenever there are times when you feel like, in inside us there are, they say there are two worlds inside. It is a ancient um, American saying, Indian American saying, like the people who were of the particular caste, particular race, who belonged to America. Currently, all those people, they are not actually belonging from that land, but people who were Native Americans, they were called Indians. So there is an Native Indian saying which says that there are two wolves inside you. One would say that do not do this and would take you to the downhill side. Another wolf will move you towards the greater good and would push you towards doing that. Now it is up to you that amongst these two wolves, which one of the wolf you feed. The one which you feed would succeed. For this, I would like to share with you the example that was shared with me by my grandmother. She would say when Navratras would come, and then you would worship goddess and you would demean the Rakshasa. For those 9 days, you would do all those things and remember the kind of learnings that our elders would have to say to us, would give us. But what about the days which are, like not particular worship days? She told that actual worship you do when there are troubles in the life, when there are temptations in the life, because both goddess and the demon is inside you. It is upon you that who you allow to win. When you give in to temptations, when you give in to jealousy, when you give in to sadness, when you give in to repentance, that is the moment when you are giving in to the negative sides. You are strengthening the demon. While when you fight against the negative consequences that might have come, when you fight against all those adversities, at that time you strengthen the Devi inside you, the goddess inside you, the God inside you, because be it Krishna, Ram, or any god that you follow, each and every god, as there is just one God, the one superpower, that superpower resides within us, that divinity resides within us, and it is up to us that whom we allow to win. So, with resilience comes that war that you have to fight, and as you win that war, the divinity inside you flourishes. So I plead all of you, my dear, that always have that resilience muscle inside you strong. There might come the moment wherein you feel like giving up. Now, when I talk about giving up, what is that actual giving up? Before we started this course, in the first session itself, I shared with you that we all have certain values with us. Those values are the pillars that define our inner being. And when you put concession on those values, when you compromise on those values, it is at that time that you are giving up on your resilience. But when you gather that courage inside and fight against any adversity that might be standing in front of you, and hold on to your values, because that is what you stand for, at that time, my dear, you make that resilience muscle very, very, very strong. It would also do a great, great favor to you if you allow the relationships amongst you flourish. Now, how can you do that? For that, you have to start the work from earlier days itself. When you are thirsty, at that time, if you are digging the well, will that be a right approach to do? No. For knowing that you will be thirsty at a point, so that you can get the water timely, you need to have the resource ready. So, having the relationships amongst your near and dear ones is very important, because the kind of courage and the support and the strength that strong relationships give you, they help in gaining the inner resilience too. So invest in the relationships also, amongst your family, amongst your friends, amongst your community. And as you invest in them, you will see that how the resilience inside you flourishes. So, dear all, as you check your manual, there are a few exercises and questions. I would like you to go through them, because they will help you to move ahead. Tomorrow, we shall see you again for the next life skill. Thank you.